folks, Chris Voss here from the chrisvossshow.com, the chrisvossshow.com. Here are the blog posts we want to share with you. Of course, we review the latest in social media technology. We do a lot of phone reviews and phone comparisons lately and got some more good stuff coming along the way. Thanks to AT&T for providing the phones for us. And what we're going to be doing today is a comparison between the Samsung Galaxy S3, what they call their S Voice, which is very Siri-like to the iPhone 4S that we have before us, Siri's voice command system. So both these are voice command systems for each of these phones, and we're going to compare how efficient both of them are. So let's walk through some of the comparisons. Now, with the iPhone 4S, you have Siri, where you can press and hold your home button. Siri will go ahead and activate it. You can pull Siri out of standby, but there's no voice command for it. Let's take a look at that and how that works. In standby mode, we can hold the button. What's the weather like today, Siri?
Here's the forecast for today.
And we can go into it. Now, unfortunately, the one thing that the iPhone does not have, it does not have a activation to be able to use a voice command to pull it out of standby mode, whereas the Samsung Galaxy S3 does, which is very cool. Now, you can program this in the S Voice area of the Samsung Galaxy S3, and it's very easy to do. You even tell it what voice you want to take and utilize and command you want to take and give, and once it's programmed, you've run some samples through it, it will take and operate for you. Let's go ahead and try this. We're going to pull this out of standby, and instead of swiping the screen, which you normally will with an Android phone, we're going to give the command. Wake up. Wake up. Okay, so you can see here, it definitely is voice-based, and so depending upon how your voice works in the recordings you did, we'll give it the commands to be able to bring it in. Now, the nice thing too is with the Samsung is you can give commands to it, and by saying wake up, it will perform the voice command that you want to take and do. Okay, so that's what you get when you talk when it's searching for stuff. Now, with the Samsung Galaxy S3, you can see here that I can pull this out of command and talk to Samsung, the Samsung S Voice, anytime I want and give it commands. There's also a mute switch down here where I can mute on and off the gal talking back to me. In some other countries, I've heard that it's a guy talking. So you can change that. Say you're in a meeting, you don't want this thing feeding back information to you. Maybe you're in church or something like that. You don't want everyone hearing what you're doing with your phone. You can mute the voice feedback button. There's also the button, of course, that you push, you talk, and then it goes and searches for what you want and comes back with data that you take and need. Now, the other thing you have over here is on the far right hand side, you've got a little question mark. And what that can do is give you samples of different commands that you can take and give to the Samsung S Voice. You can say call so-and-so, search for contacts, navigate, task, music, play music, social updates. One thing that's really cool about the Galaxy Samsung S3 is you can send Twitter and Facebook updates from it, which is really cool. There's a driving mode, record voice, timer, weather, simple settings controls like turning on and off your Wi-Fi, etc., finding restaurants and looking up stuff. Now you also have extensive features, and keep in mind you don't have any of these sort of settings and controls with the iPhone Siri. You can set different language setups. You can set to launch S Voice by double pressing the home key. You can use location data. You'll see some things there. You can actually hide offensive words if it misreads you. Auto dial when it's confident. Auto start speaker. This is really nice to where when you want to make a call and you tell the S Voice to call for you, it will take and put it on speakerphone right away for you. You can show the body of a message that when it comes in on driving mode. You can wake up command, which basically that's where you program your command wake ups. You can wake up in Samsung Unlock. You can have it to where it only listens while charging. You can set up your wake command, which is really nice. You can set up several different wake up functions with this, so that's cool. You can check missed events. When your headset's enabled, you can put in your home address. This helps if you're asking for navigation and directions. And then down here, these are both Facebook and Twitter logins. So we've logged those in our social settings so that we can take and actually do updates by voice rather than having to type them in. How's that? Very cool. Now, you certainly don't have those features with the iPhone 4S. You've got a very limited range of things you can do with it. If you do hit the this eye over here that's in the corner, you can get information on different things you can come up with to take and utilize the phone, all that good stuff. So they did give you some features to help you along with. But other than that, there's not much really in the way of settings for the Siri that you can take and customize, like you can customize the Galaxy S3. Very cool with the Galaxy S3. So let's try a few things for fun and see how the two of these phones get along. Let's try one over here. How's the weather?
Here is the weather for South Whittier, California.
Okay, let's try it over here. What's the weather?
Here's the weather for today through this Thursday.
Okay, so we've noticed faster speeds of the Samsung Galaxy S3, and we were running into some network problems, but we'll go ahead and play this out live, and you can see the comparison. Send a text message to Chris Voss.
What do you want to say to Chris Voss?
Hi, Chris Voss, how are you?
I updated your message.
Send.
Ready to send it?
Send.
Okay, I'll send it.
Okay, let's try this over here. Send a text message to Chris Voss. Oh, looks like I sent one right to myself. All right. So here we're seeing the Samsung go through the process. It does look like the Siri is a little bit faster in its responses. And like I said, we have noticed variations on the speed. There are sometimes where Siri also... Hello, Chris. How are you? We've noticed some variations of speed with Siri also. There's sometimes where Siri can't get onto its network. Samsung is the same way. Send. Okay, so that gives us an idea as to how that works. Call Chris Voss.
Calling Chris Voss, mobile.
Okay. Now you saw one of the features there is we could not control the fact that it would start on speaker mode, which I prefer to like, especially if you're trying to do hands-free. What's the point, right? Now with Samsung, of course, you'll see it will go automatically to hands-free. Okay. Call Chris Voss. Okay, so you can see here now, one of the things it's going to take and do for us is it's going to open up with speakerphone as we programmed it to in the settings. So that's what makes this really nice, is this will open up with the speaker phone available. And I really love that feature. I mean, technically if you're doing voice calling, you're obviously doing this to achieve a hands-free availability. You don't want to have to grab your phone and put onto the thing. So let's go ahead and cancel that, and we're going to compare some other things. So let's do that. Text Chris Voss.
What do you want to say to Chris Voss?
Hello, you.
I updated your message.
Send.
Ready to send it?
Send.
Okay, I'll send it.
I'm always in a hurry, so I always jump. I can never wait. Send text message to Chris Voss. Now, one thing we noticed with the Samsung is you do have to make sure you speak loudly into it. You have to watch what you're getting there and how much volume you're putting in with the voice.
What's your message?
Hello, Chris. How are you?
Okay, here is your message.
Send.
Ready to send it.
Send. You can see I never get it right.
Okay, here is your message. Ready to send it.
Cancel. Cancel. Okay, so you can see you can get in and out of trouble with these things and all the fun stuff that goes with them. But
Alright, I canceled it.
okay, so now we come back to where we were. Let's try another command. Show me my calendar.
Okay, here's what's on your calendar.
What's on my calendar? So you can get an idea as to the difference between the two different phones. They're fairly easy on the commands you can take and use and everything you can take and do. So here it's showing our...
Your 2 appointments. Labor Day all day on Monday, September 3rd, and Patriot Day all day on Tuesday, September 11th.
Okay, so you can see the two differences there. Now, one of the key things that you can do with the Samsung Galaxy S Voice that you cannot do with the Apple product with the iOS 5.0 X version, whichever it is. I don't know if in the 6.0 version they're going to come out within 2 months and the new iOS or the new iPhone 5 if they're going to change this. But the one thing you can do is Twitter and Facebook from your Samsung S Voice. Send a tweet.
What would you like to say?
Hello, Twitter. How are you?
Say update, cancel, or speak something new.
Update.
Status updated.
Okay, so you can see how that works. Now the Samsung does perform a little bit slower in the test we're showing you here. The Siri sometimes has its issues. Just depends on how the network is going. Send a Facebook status update.
Say update, cancel, or speak something new.
This is one of the challenges that you run into with this.
Say update, cancel, or speak something new.
Cancel. Cancel.
Okay, canceled.
Send a Facebook post.
What would you like to say?
Hello, Facebook from Samsung S3. And one thing we've noticed is there is trickiness to it. Sometimes if
Say
you're
update,
up,
cancel, or speak something new.
update, update,
Status updated.
now, what we have noticed is sometimes it will store things that you'll say if you don't go completely silent, and it'll repeat them, and you'll get sometimes stuck in tweet mode, Facebook status update mode, or messaging mode. and you have to kind of exit out and come back into it. So that's one of the detriments we found with the system. But it is cool that you could tweet from audio, and you can Facebook post update from audio. Now, the other thing you can do that you cannot do with Siri on the Samsung Galaxy S3 is be able to give commands to open applications. You cannot do that with Siri. Open my Gmail app.
I'd like to, Chris Voss, but I'm not allowed to. Sorry about that.
So Apple does not allow that to be done in the 5.0X operating system. I don't know if that will change when it goes to 6.0. Let's try it with the Samsung. Open my Gmail app.
Opening mail.
So you can see it'll open my Gmail app, which is really good. We're going to go back to it. Open Spotify. Oops. Open my Spotify application. Not finding it. Open Spotify app. Okay, so you can see it's open my Spotify app. What we want to show you here is that it's not a perfect system, and it probably takes a little bit of work to get it right and how it utilizes itself. Okay, so now you can see some of the differences. You can also see some of the issues and faux pas, which we want to share with you. We don't want to share a perfect session, so you can see that you definitely have to work at it a bit with some of the things, and you can see some of the delays and stuff that we run into. Now, one thing you can do, of course, with both Siri and the Samsung Galaxy S3 is you can get it to play music. So let's do that here. Play music. Now, because of this, I won't be able to play.
All songs.
I won't be able to play the music. We'll play it for a second. Otherwise, basically, what will happen is YouTube will get after me for copyright infringement. So, can't play the songs for too long. There we go. So you can hear that you can play all the songs with the Siri thing. I believe you can also tell it to stop. Let's see here. I haven't ever tried it actually. Stop music.
Okay, the music stopped.
There you go. You can stop the music too. Let's try with the Samsung Galaxy S3. Play music. And it looks like pretty consistently in our tests, the Siri does operate faster, although there are times where I can't get it to work or it runs into network issues. Those were earlier in the times when Siri was just first coming out, and I think they've since put more servers behind Siri as it's been developed. And I know they're putting more stuff. Oh, wow, couldn't get it. Play my music. Let's see how that's going to do. There we go. So, I don't know if it's playing music. I saw music come up. Is it playing music? I don't know. I'm going to assume it is. So, I'll assume it's not in the background. It's playing in the background, etc., etc. I'm going to assume it is because I don't want to end up with my YouTube copyright getting after me by playing music that's going to pick up from the recording. So you can see here some of the distinct differences between a comparison between Siri with the iPhone 4S and the Samsung Galaxy S3. I actually really do like the Samsung Galaxy S3 because you can wake it up on from out of its standby mode. You can also Facebook and tweet from it. Not really going to use that much, but I think it's got more customizable features and commands and all that good stuff. If you can put up with the delay that we see, especially between Siri and the S Voice, then it's definitely for you. But it's definitely some great features if you're considering both phones to take and consider. So be sure to check them out. Thank you, AT&T, for sharing the Samsung Galaxy S3 with us. Be sure to check back the Chris Voss Show for future stuff and more comparisons as we compare some of the really cool phones and the other stuff in technology. Thanks for coming by. Be sure to check back often.